there just one owner for PWRBLD?
Yeah.
Just you,
Just
right?
me.
And you opened up the first one is this is a smaller location.
Yeah,
right?
Conchi's only 4,000 square feet. That's where we started.
You guys
She's still
have
kicking.
That one, right?
Yep. Still doing the damn thing down there. A lot more powerlifting oriented down there. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's how we kind of got the ball rolling. Obviously, that's like my background. A lot of the people that came to the gym to start, Sean Mills, we had a bunch of people like that. So kind of like developed that culture. But we have everything down there still. Machines, cardio, everything. Mm-hmm. So
it's just a little bit more open.
This is just like more space. We could really kind of like bring the vision to life here. Mm-hmm. It still has all the powerlifting shit, but it also has like all the top of the line bodybuilding stuff now.
Mm-hmm. Do you guys plan on buying more equipment for like that bodybuilding stuff?
Yeah. So I have like 7 or 8 pieces coming in brand new still. Mm-hmm. Atlantis, we have like a piece from Atlantis. We have 3 pieces from Prime, 3 more pieces from Arsenal. I think that's it. Those are like the brands that I fuck with. Prime, Arsenal, Atlantis. There's a few other. Oh, and then we have the Gluteator coming in. You need that.
The Gluteator. The Gluteator.
No, yeah, it's like I'm not even kidding. I don't even know what the fucking guy calls the brand, but like he started the company with a single piece called the Gluteator. Okay. And now he's expanded, I think, into
the Bicepator.
He does. No, it's like they're like very specialty, unique pieces. Like I don't know if they want to get into like every like a chest press and all that shit.
More like just like specific.
Very specialized. The way that this like it's like an abduction machine, but you're like at a certain angle and it's like you're pressing down and out, so it targets.
You know, that's funny that you said that because I was actually using an abduction machine before. And I had a huge issue with not being able to change so many other things.
Yeah.
So what would end up happening is I would take pads.
Yeah.
To like get like a higher higher up. Because it's an easy change. Just to like change the level of where the seat's at. But if you're like warming up for like squats or deads and you're in tight, like especially like going on a flight that's 8 hours or 4 hours. That machine almost becomes a necessity.
I tell all my people squatting to hit that before, like at least like a set of like 15 to 20 reps lightweight just to like get the hips to open up, get the glutes firing, all of that. It's a key. Like I feel like back in the day it was like always just like
use the Mark Bell booty band.
Yeah.
You can use that when like you don't have the machine. Like when you don't have it and you can just spend like $20 on it, it will work for the time being. Mm-hmm. But if you can get the actual proper machine, might as well use it.
100%. Yeah. So it's, obviously a little different than what you see in most gyms. I literally only know of like one other gym in the state that has it. And the guy, when I was talking on the phone, I was like talking to the guy who literally is like the owner, engineer, he does everything. Mm-hmm. And he was like telling me like, it's a very exclusive piece. And that's what like I try and like target like unique, specialized equipment.
Yeah.
Obviously I want to have all the regular shit, but I want to have like those unique pieces that you can't find at any other gym.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the Leo, the gym owner from DMV.
DMV Iron.
The machines that you guys have, you've been to DMV Iron.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. DMV. Yeah. They. What's nice is too though they have a lot of OG equipment that they don't make because back in the day they made good quality equipment because a lot of the equipment was actually made in the United States.
Yeah.
Right. Then you had it where companies were going overseas, and then we had shittier metals, which.
It's amazing the quality difference, even like with some of those mainstream commercial brands like Life Fitness. Mm-hmm. That was always like an American made, like top of the line. You'd see it in commercial gyms, every gym. Their new shit is fucking trash. Yeah. Like I was just at Life Fitness, if you're listening, you guys fucking suck. Mm-hmm. Your old stuff, legendary. Like we still have some of the old stuff in Conchi, and like I'll keep it forever.
I own some Life Fitness.
Yeah,
stuff.
like that was always one of the OGs, like Life Fitness, Cybex, Hammer Strength, obviously. Yep. I don't know what Life Fitness did now. It looks kind of nice now, but
what they did was they made it more like it looks like a hotel commercial look. Yeah. Right.
Yep.
And it's like it looks like a modernized Tesla, but it can't go off road, which you need for a gym. If you're gonna have it
like this too, where people are gonna fucking use and abuse it. Powerlifters, IFBB pros, like even the good shit in here takes a beating. So like if something's low quality, it's not gonna survive. So. Yeah, that's why it's like certain brands I just stick to like has to be like U.S. made. Mm-hmm. Atlantis is Canadian, but North American.
There's this gym out in Fargo called Evo, and they have something where similar to like DMV, where they really just look at the best kind of gym equipment you get. Like you have old school Nautilus.
Yeah, the Nautilus, the old school Nautilus.
Actually, it's all refurnished, so He got them from they all ship from Italy, like underground. I don't know where he finds them.
Yeah.
But then
Facebook marketplaces.
No, dude, I'm on there daily. I have an obsession.
Yo, it's bad.
Yeah.
It happened during COVID, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh, well, even before with Conchi, I was trying to find pieces because at that time I didn't have fucking any money. I'm trying to scrounge together more machines. But then, during COVID, when people were starting to like unload stuff, I'm like, everything's on sale. I'm like, I have to get this shit.
That was what I was doing during COVID time because it got to so I was in a garage, right? First day, COVID happens, right? All the gyms closed. I made it one day, and I go, okay, I can't do this shit. Right? I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I go to my friend's, and he has a 300-pound weight set and this really, really crappy bench in his garage. I'm like, okay, we're going to...
Yeah, I know. I'm going to do the intro in a minute. Keep going.
Okay, we're going to make this work, right? And then I was like, okay, I can barely even bench or squat or deadlift on this. Let's get some more equipment.
Yeah.
So I go to my shop, and I have this really, really rusty out squat rack my dad welded way, way long ago, right? Before he left me, right? So we have it where I sand it down, we paint it, we're squatting on that. Then my friend, then we got a leg press, then we got another rack, and then we're in this garage and we're training, and it got to the point where I was knocking door to door on people asking, hey, do you guys have the 300-pound weight sets? Because most like females, they'll buy it for their husbands, either like as a wedding gift, or if their husbands are getting a little fat, they'll like buy it.
Yeah.
So I was knocking on people's doors asking if they have the weight sets, buying them for cheap, right? Because they just wanted them out of the house at that time.
Yeah, it takes up space.
Yeah, accumulated some gym equipment, and then it got to a point where I drove 7 hours and I found an old school Cybex lateral raise, isolateral machine.
Yeah.
Got that for free.
Damn.
Right? Yep.
Good find.
Yeah, I made a video on it because I was like, no way. I called the guy and he's like, yep, you have to be here at 8 a.m. I left at like 3 a.m. in the morning with a truck. Drove all the way down, picked it up, loaded it, came back in the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I bought an entire school.
Oh, that's where you could find some crazy deals. Some schools, like high schools or colleges, that maybe they're getting new equipment.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck. They're just like, come and get it. I literally got a Life Fitness, and again, this was like their good shit. A leg extension, hamstring curl, and something else, can't remember. Three machines, they charged me $100 for each, like a piece. Like, so I spent $300 on 3 machines that should have been $3,000.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened with mine, right? So I go there, and usually most school systems have it like a 7-year period, and then they get like a huge bonus from the state to upgrade equipment. And I go there, and I have Icarian row machine, right?
Shit,
Looks it up. It's $3,500 for just that piece. Icarian bicep, Icarian tricep, Life Fitness shoulder, hammer strength iso, plate loaded, incline, flat, 2 Pro Maxima leg presses.
Damn.
All the barbells, all the dumbbells, all of that, right? Cybex dumbbell racks, and I bought it all. Right?
I actually don't know a single 21-year-old.
Yeah, so I bought it all, right? Because I was like, I need all this stuff. I was getting. It's so weird. If you find gym equipment for like a great price, you're like, it's not gonna go ever down in value.
Yeah.
It's only gonna go up. So I'm like, I gotta do it. So drove 7 hours to this place with a 26-foot U-Haul, and they didn't tell me that it was 24 flights of stairs down in the basement of the school. Right? They were just telling me, yeah, back up the U-Haul, and we should be able to load it in like 2 hours. And I was like, oh, great. We'll have the football team help you. I was like, oh, awesome, right? I know it's a lot of equipment, but whatever. And we got there at like 8 a.m., and we didn't leave till 1 in the morning.
Oh, okay. I was going to say it had to be like a 15-hour.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Bringing up plate stacks.
Plate by plate.
Oh, man.
I probably had over guaranteed like 45 pairs of 45s. It was so I've never had to carry so many 45s to the point where like I have a great grip.
Yeah.
Right? I can I'm failing. I'm going up each step with like 2 45s, and after doing that 30 times, you just have these Popeye forearm pumps.
That's nutty. I was feeling bad for me and Julius. We went to this guy's house and we had to get the actual abduction and adduction machine from a basement to like
rough.
The back of a house, and like it was literally like two small flights of steps, and I was like whining about that. So that story makes me feel.
I have the videos on my phone.
While we're doing that intro, don't know what episode it is, but new episode of Happy Power. We got Sawyer Klatt and we got Nabil back, a regular guest. More the merrier.
Thank you for having me on.
Absolutely. We're just talking some war stories of picking up equipment, and we just gave you the sickest equipment hack. If you guys are looking for used stuff, go to your local schools.
Yeah.
Because they're just going to fucking unload it. They want you to just come get rid of it because they're just going to buy a bunch of new shit anyway. So
like every couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, you had to get lucky. You had to like kind of be the guy that calls at the right time. But I've heard some other people who are like equipment junkies. The one guy was telling me he got hooked up with like Temple, the school here in Philly, and he got a bunch of like incredible like hammer strength pieces that were like brand new.
Oh.
Super cheap. I forget what he paid, but it was like disgustingly cheap. I was incredibly jealous. But so you still have all that, right?
Yeah, it's in my cold storage. So what I want to do is I have a 60 by 40 shop on my land. That's like right outside my house.
Yeah.
It's not fully insulated. It's not heated yet, but it has underfloor heat, but just not hooked up. Right?
Yeah.
Plumbing's not hooked up. I want to get all that done, throw all the gym equipment in there, and just be able to train during that period of time.
Yeah.
Then I can leave whenever I want. I don't have to pay for a gym membership because it's like at my house, but it makes it where I can. There's no gyms in my area.
Yeah.
There's no there's the high school.
Yeah.
And then there's the gym I train at, and 80% of the equipment's mine.
Tell the people where you're from.
I'm from Minnesota. I'm like 5 minutes from Canada. I'm way up north. Like 7 hours from Minneapolis. It's crazy.
Damn.
But,
I didn't know you were like at the top.
Yeah.
Top.
Shit.
I actually did a meat bar thing this year, kind of close. It was Buffalo, New York.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Buffalo is all the way the fuck up.
It was my first time up there. I was like, wow, this is
Different.
very different.
Yeah, I've only been up there like once, just very short. But yeah, so no gyms. You've been training at home for a while. Like it sounds like there was a gym, but
Yeah. So I was training at the high school, right? And at that time, before COVID, you could train at it was 3:15 to 9. But then after all the school shootings and then COVID, like the school got very, very like security wise, right?
Yeah.
They have locked door systems. You can only go at 5, and it's from 5 to 9. And during that time, everybody's gets off work, and it's just really, really packed. And I think what ended up happening is during COVID time when I was buying actually like good quality equipment, because at that time it gave me the freedom of buying whatever I wanted.
Yeah.
I can pick this rack, I can pick this weight, I can bring these bars in. I almost didn't want to go back, because I like being able to train whenever I want.
Yeah.
If you have to like finesse it with only 5 to 9, it's a little stressful if you have other things going on.
Oh yeah.
I
used to hate when like the gym was open from like 5 a.m. to 11 p.m. and I'd want to show up at 10:30. I'd be like, this gym fucking sucks. That's why mine are 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I used to fucking hate that because I'm like nocturnal. So
well, then everybody has different shit going on. That's the thing. And sometimes, like especially with traveling, if I get in late, and it wasn't up to me, and I have to I have a 4x10 on squats, or I have to hit this on or bench or deadlift.
Yeah.
I can't miss a day, no matter what time it is. I don't care. But if it's limited due to the gym being closed, then it's like, then it just ruined almost. I'd rather drive 4 hours to a gym that's like not, like that's 24 hours just to train.
Oh yeah.
Dedication.
Oh yeah.
I used to do that though.
That's wild.
For my deadlift singles, because the gym that I trained at didn't have enough weights, so I'd drive 3 hours with these thin 45s that I had a guy in Wisconsin laser cut.
Yeah.
I would bring that, so it was like probably 6 pairs of 45s, my bar, drive all the way to Fargo, North Dakota, unload it, go to the gym, right? Then get warmed up for deads and then pull 770.
Oh my God.
There,
And people complain about like the stupidest shit, and you got this motherfucker driving 4 hours to a gym with his own weights. I don't ever want to hear an Instagram excuse again. No more captions about your mom didn't make you a peanut butter and jelly at the right time. Like, no more. Well, I'm going to tag Sawyer, and he's going to fucking rip you apart.
Ooh. He's like, this motherfucker doesn't know what's happening.
Yeah. Damn, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to be one of those dads that, like, when you have, like, a kid and you just, like, talk about those giant stories, like, you don't have to realize what I had to do to get this gym equipment. I had to drive 7 hours to pick it up, then drive 7 hours back.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Throw some high expectations in there.
Yeah, that's wild.
So there's literally no gym besides your school.
My school gym and then the gym that I train at, which is 24 hours, but all the equipment is mostly mine. All the racks, I have a full set of kilos, my combo racks, my leg presses, all that.
Damn.
She has treadmills.
Is anyone else out there training like you?
In my town?
Yeah, just like somewhat
similar. I think in the high school area,
Yeah.
there's a large majority of kids that want to do that because
You motivate all of them.
yeah. So I started off of it, and a lot of them watch my videos. So it's
Yeah.
nice being able to have it where okay, they knew Sawyer when he was only 120 pounds, and now Sawyer is doing social media. Sawyer's lifting all this weight. He's producing out content, and it's just much more enjoyable to see that. And people want to get bigger. They want to get stronger. Nobody wants to stay at 100 pounds. It's like
no.
Everybody wants to be bigger, right? Even if like you can say you're content with it, but if I was like, okay, I can snap my finger right now, you could be stronger, faster, all that, they would just say it right now.
100%. Everyone wants to get jacked.
Yeah, it's fun.
But that's crazy. So.
Well, with the fact of it, though, too, only gym that's 24 hours is 15 minutes or 40. I have to drive 20 minutes to get to it, right? It's like a rundown gym. The gym that I want to open up would be in town. The factories are open, 24 hours. So people that get off at 1 p.m. can train. People that get off at 1 a.m. can train.
Yeah.
I want to have it where anybody can train at any given time. I'm not trying to, like, make the most amount of money on it. I just want to have it where there's a place open enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that hard to set up 24/7 access. I mean, little key fob system costs about $1,000 to maybe set up if you get a good one even, and it's like, you can have 24/7 access. Make sure everyone signs a waiver. They can go in at any time.
The issue with me was not being able to find a building to rent.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna basically just have to make the building.
Yeah.
So the building's there. It's just I have to insulate it. I have to heat it. I have to do all these other like small nitpicky things.
Yeah.
Figure out the whole tax situation because it's on my property. But what is good is it's 60 by 40 and it is business approved already.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah.
So I don't have to like pay in more to do that.
Yeah.
So it's fine now.
Yeah, you'll be able to make it happen. I would imagine. Yeah, it's just like create an LLC, make sure the liability is separate from yourself.
Yeah.
And then if it's already approved as a business, must have some type of what was there? Was it like your dad doing something or?
Yeah. It was a it was like foam insulation at one point.
Yeah, it might just have to be like rezoned kind of, but it's not like it's a little bit of a pain in the ass. You probably have to go to your like local borough or county fucking thing and get like a rezoning permit or some stupid shit like that. But that'd be sick. Yeah, that'd be sick. I feel like what got like in your area sounds like you've probably had like a huge influence on a lot of people. But before you, like what got you into it all? Let's take a little step back.
Into training?
Yeah, like how'd you end up in powerlifting?
Oh, so I think the idea of just always strength training has always been like I wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to get stronger.
Yeah.
And I think especially in sports, that's the issue where when I was in wrestling, there is no age group. So if you're in 7th grade, you could be wrestling a senior. It just matters on weight.
Yeah.
And even though if I lost to a senior, I hated that. I hated the idea of just losing versus like most people be like, oh, hey, you're a senior. You'll have your time. I was like, no, I don't care what age they are. I just want to win.
Yeah.
Right?
Very competitive.
Yeah. So from that point, I remember losing. I was 145 pounds. And I was like, all right, I just want to win. And how do I win? Okay, I got to be stronger. I got to be faster. I got to do all that stuff. How do I get there? Okay, I have to go to the gym, right? So it's just like figuring out what was the problem. Okay, here's the solution. Just continue to do that. And that's been kind of the whole motto with anything that I've done. Same thing with like training now.
Yeah.
Oh, how's my food? How's my sleep? It's just breaking it down to the most simple, basic things.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. Everybody wants to complicate things.
No, it's the fundamentals.
Yeah, and then
basic fundamentals.
Yeah, just make it perfect every single time, and you'll win. So I was competitive, didn't want to lose, and I was like, okay, I got to get stronger. And then at this time, being 15 years old, my brother came home from my dad's, and he was about 135 pounds. I just got up to like 140, and he's 3 years older than me. And he didn't like the fact that his younger brother was weighing more than him, right? So he started going into the gym. Before, going to the gym was like bicep curls, maybe like a few machines, but it was like a 45-minute workout. It was more so running than anything. But he's 3 years older, a little more knowledgeable, has kind of seen kids work out before, starts researching more than I would have because I'm just kind of like, oh, just go to the gym, really bro-y.
Yeah.
He definitely went in more like smart. But then I just learned from that because he'd be like, Sawyer, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then we would train together. And at that time, being roughly around the same body weight, we could usually hit the same numbers. So if he hit like 220 on bench, I would want to try to one-up him, right? And we just kept that momentum going back and forth. And we did that by the time he graduated. And we got really, really strong. And then also going into wrestling, we were doing that same thing. Eventually, he graduated, he moved away, and I lost that competition thing. And I was like, okay, I need to find a new competition. So then I would just go online and I would look at people my age or people older than me that were stronger, way, way, way stronger. And this is funny enough. This is where my friend Dave comes in because I saw Dave was really, really strong kid. I'm like, okay.
You mean your brother, David Lade?
Yeah, right. So when I found Dave, I was like, okay, this is my competition now because my brother moved away, don't have any competition anymore. So I'm like, all right, Dave's my competition. So I looked at Dave. I was like, all right, Dave doesn't train on his sleep, his food. I was like, okay, these are the things that I have to make sure are perfect. So I did that, and then I got stronger than Dave. And then I was like, okay, I got to find another competition. I've just been doing this like now. It sounds like a little egotistical thing, but it's like
I think we talked about it a little bit in our other podcast. It's like Instagram. People look at Instagram. They look at other people, what they're doing, and it can go two ways, right? Like you can make it like a positive, which is what you've done. You've looked at people to motivate you and push your training. And then you got other people that sometimes they look at other people who are doing more than them and that like demoralizes them. Yeah. So it's like,
and I think everybody does have those small parts where they do feel a little demoralized, but it's the idea that if you just go, you almost shrug it off. You go, okay, no, that doesn't really matter. It's just I gotta work on myself to be better than them. Yeah. You know, because you like, let's say in this instance, I could be like, oh man, if I cut down to 140 and try to take Nabil's record, right? Man, I could hold a world record, right? Yeah. And then just be like super, super eager about that, but also it's contradicting to like anything that I'm doing. I'm like cutting down weight, all that stuff. So having a competitive standpoint is great. Yeah. But also knowing where you should be at it, I think is also better.
Yeah, I think you have to like stay in your own lane, but you can always use other people's progress as motivation and kind of see what's possible. Nabil, just to let everyone know, if you didn't see, just broke his own world record, right? Seven even, or was it
701?
701 at 148, which literally a few years ago would have been fucking impossible. People would have literally said impossible.
585 at any body weight was like, oh wow, this guy's crazy.
I remember, 700 was like, people like my size, our size, like that was like the goal. That was like, if you hit 700-pound deadlift, like you were fucking incredible.
Well, that's literally what set me on the map.
I know, yeah. No, I didn't see that. Jesus.
Is that the one that Greg made a video on?
Yeah, 15-year-old, my weight did
700.
Yeah, straps and pound plate. But he actually competed last week. He did 640 on deadlift on the platform. He's 15. He's like 9 years old.
Really?
That is disturbing.
Only that much of a difference. That's because you know how there's some people that can like deadlift 800 with straps and then they take it away and it's like 405.
Yeah.
So having it where this guy.
Like, I'm not gonna say any name, but yeah.
But having it where this guy did like 700 and then only 640, that's a really good conversion for that. Bumper plates and everything to kilos.
Yeah. That's wild, dude. That's what I mean. Like, it just keeps, like, evolving. You know what I mean?
Then 900, then 1,000.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting in more people in the sport. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
You know, more people are,
talent pool is always growing. Yeah. It's wild. I mean, like, American Pro, I'd never, like, that wasn't even it wasn't a big meet as far as how many lifters, but obviously it was all the top guys. But it was like, and it was like 800 was like, people are like, here comes, Johnny's opening at fucking 755, like, opener, and he's, like, the first guy in the flight. I'm like, what the fuck? Everyone's deadlifting 750 plus, like.
And then last guy in the flight, you have Danny Grigsby, opens with 1,000.
Yeah, no, it's.
That was his opener?
985.
Yeah. Just disturbing. I mean, I would have, literally, 3 years ago, I would have literally said a 1,000-pound deadlift was probably impossible. Like, damn near impossible, depending on maybe like if Thor did it, I'd be like, oh, okay, like Thor did it raw.
400-pound man.
Exactly, 400-pound man, but like Dan's 275, actually not even 260 something. You got Jamal also, whatever the hell he is now, 250 something like that, or he competes 242. John just fucking keeps.
Because it's not so much.
Yeah, conventional.
Conventional, close grip, high bar. Literally every 8 commenter can't say shit anymore.
I know,
say anything on that guy.
Oh man, it just like keeps getting crazier. I mean, now I've just learned. I'm like, who knows? Somebody might fucking deadlift 1,200 at some point. Like, you got 15-year-olds doing 700. I don't know. I feel like people just continue to get smarter with their training, nutrition.
Technology evolves.
Yeah, I mean,
body evolves. Human
body, yeah.
Every year.
100%.
I mean, you have moms that are deadlifting 500 pounds, like you said. I mean, you take that, then you take a little Dan Grigsby, you put it in there, 1,200-pound deadlift right
Making
there.
some superheroes.
15 years old.
That is nuts. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Who knows what the limit may be, but.
Well, what's funny also, though, is think about how many young kids are getting into the sport now.
Yeah.
Right? Before it was like, it was mostly down south that you were having kids doing powerlifting, and now it's grown to, it's everywhere now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so you have younger ages, it's more widespread, not just Texas, because at one point Texas was bigger than USAPL, bigger than any other federation. It was just Texas as a state.
Just their high school lifters,
You know, but now you have it where USPA is huge, USAPL.
WRPF's growing.
Yeah, and even if they don't compete, there's kids that just do the powerlifting movements because either their favorite influencers do that or they just they enjoy it.
Yeah, I think you're seeing like people now, it's like everyone used to be like either baseball, football, soccer. Now powerlifting is kind of one of the things that you'll see like these kids doing that are maybe like a little more gifted genetically, more athletic. They're like, fuck, I want to powerlift because Sawyer does or David does or Nabil does. Like
I had
that
same instance where like senior year I was kind of contemplating, did I want to do my sports or did I want to do powerlifting, right? And it kind of was funny because, especially with when you feel really good, like you're gifted in something, right? I think it's almost like a sin not to like just go at it 100%. It's like why, like if you're doing something and you're really great at it, why wouldn't you just fully commit to it? And even though wrestling and football was great, I was like, I'm getting way more recognition with this little powerlifting thing. Even though I haven't competed, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do a meet then. So then I did a meet. It was great because the whole reason why I wanted to do a meet was to show that I'm natural and I was getting drug tested. That was the only reason. Because I was getting like people like, oh, this kid's at 16 deadlift, 675. Oh, this kid's on roids, on tran, all this stuff, right? I was like, okay, well, how can I show you guys I'm natural? They're like, going to drug tested federation. I was like, okay, signed up, did that, right?
So when was your first meet? How old?
It had been I think it was 17.
How old are you now?
I'm 21.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know, but also at the same time, during COVID time, that was like a full year gone, or a year and a half almost gone of no powerlifting meets. Because I wanted to do one during quarantine when I was eventually getting stronger, knocking on people's doors, grabbing their weights, right?
Yeah.
But every meet was getting canceled. I was like, I was going to prep for one.
Area.
Yeah, because being so far up north, I have to travel a lot. And USAPL meets aren't close to me at all. It's mostly USPA.
Yeah.
And I have no problem with USPA, and I'll probably do a meet eventually.
Mm-hmm.
But I was,
Yeah, we got to get you to come here and do it. Yeah.
Well, I got the kabuki.
Yeah.
And once I come back from London, it's going to be a little hibernation phase, 3 months, putting on 20 pounds, and then 410.
Where's your body weight now?
I'm 220.
220?
Yeah.
Are you going to go up and compete in the next class?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so 220 is not what it was before on me. My body composition's changed too much for me to want to stay at 220. Like recovery-wise, even though I could do the same things I did last year and the year before that, I can look at photos and my face is way more filled out, more water in the joints, just way more fluffy, right? And that's cool. But I'm same body weight and I'm more chiseled. I'm like, okay, I can tell it's just I need a little more extra body fat.
No, yeah, 100%. It's only going to help. I mean, who the fuck knows where numbers go?
Well, it was funny because Saturday when we had our little SBD sessions, I did 640 or something on our squats. And I haven't touched that weight, being at this body weight, I don't think ever, being in a super, super light body weight. I did 661, I think like 7 months ago or so, but I was about 232. And that was like a 232 little water bloat, carb loading 24/7, 5 bagels a day.
Yeah.
Right. Now that I hit pretty close to it, and it felt really, really good. I was like, all right. So we put on 20 pounds, squat 705, bench the 407, deadlift like the 815s. I'll be happy.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Speaking of going up, you let people know yet or?
Well, yeah. I made a post on my Instagram saying.
Finally saying goodbye to 148.
That's it. No more cutting. Yeah, no more 10-pound squat.
Fuck it. I think you going up to what? 165 is the next class?
Yeah, it's the 165 and then the 82 and a half. But like eventually, I want to be like a multiple class deadlift or record holder. So
Yeah.
I think I have the potential for it.
Well, because you do have a little bigger frame.
I do.
You could grow into.
I'm 5'9", like in those weight classes, they're like 5'3".
You're taller than most fucking 220s.
That's what I'm saying.
So.
I have potential to put on some size and frame on me. So
Yeah.
that's the plan. Just being good with my diet, with my recovery, and don't want to gain too much too quickly, because I really want to like take my time when it
Do it the right way, yeah.
Do it the right way, exactly. So Probably like a pound of muscle a month. That's what we're looking at.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Fuck yeah. It'd be nutty.
Yeah.
Damn.
Be the first 800 pound point weight class.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Damn.
We'll see 2023. I'm excited though.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens.
165. So you'll be going up, taking out Taylor, or what?
So that's 750. So I'll.
Is that the world record for that class?
For the tested, the all time is 799.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All
there.
doable. All
All
doable.
doable.
It'll be exciting because I know you've been
That's
sitting at this weight for a while, and I'm like,
but that's the main reason why my squat kind of progressed a little bit.
Yeah.
I squatted 525 in comp last year, or this year actually, and my bench 290. But
At 140 pounds?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So it's like
It's crazy.
Yeah, and 5'9".
Yeah, 2 times body weight, 1 point.
Yeah.
Tall.
So
That's crazy.
If I gain 20 pounds just like you, it'll be probably a different story.
Mm-hmm.
Scary, yeah.
Mid 300 bench press.
Oh yeah.
Because if I can get a 600 pound squat, but I can deadlift 800, that's a solid total right there.
I was 145 pounds in 8th grade.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about, right?
That's
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
I graduated high school at like 150 though. Yeah, I was little like.
But the reason is, I've been training for 4 years, close to 4 years, 3.5.
Yeah.
Close to 4 years of training. I started, I was 105.
Damn.
So technically, I put on already 55 pounds of muscle.
Yeah.
4 years. So another few years, I should be adding another 20 pounds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. How much weight did I put on?
You put on 100 pounds.
Yeah.
not 50
My
pounds.
first year training with
pretty
like
pretty close to
weights,
100
I
pounds.
literally put on like 35 pounds, and I was like more shredded at the heavier weight. I went from like 150 to 185.
Whoa.
Just fucking like,
Yeah.
it was nutty. That's like what got me addicted. Like once you do something, you're like,
Were you doing a little dirty bulk then, or
no, like at that time, I would just eat whatever. I would eat whatever the fuck I wanted. I was like 17, 18. Just graduated high school. I was like looking for the next thing. Like basketball was always my thing growing up. Just started going to the gym. Just fell in love immediately once I was like in a real gym, because I had messed around in high school. Like
Yeah.
you guys probably like did, stuff in gym class. You like fuck around with your friends, like curl and shit.
Do you feel like when you're fully committed to the gym, was it you or like being in a group of scenarios? Because like it can go either or. Some people
Yeah.
have it where like, oh, they first went with a couple friends and then they got addicted,
Yeah.
or was it like, okay, it was singularly just you go in only alone?
No, it was 100%. Like my best friend at the time was
Mm-hmm.
an absolute freak. Like I swear if he ever got into powerlifting, he would have been like a fucking all-time great. Like this kid was the most jacked kid in our high school as a
Mm-hmm.
freshman. Just his fucking bone density, like he had the fucking monster calves.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, he was in wrestling. His like family was like huge in wrestling. His brothers were like state champions. He was like a national champion as like a youth. And then he just kind of got out of it as he hit middle school. I don't know if he like burned out, but he just got into lifting immediately. Like he just 7th grade, he had like a fucking trainer who was like a family friend. It wasn't like he like hired him. It was like a family friend that would lift in this garage. They had a garage, had like wrestling mats, weight sets, and he just got into it and took it serious from literally the time he was like 7th grade. From
Is he
7th
alive,
grade,
or?
he's alive. Yeah, he lives in Florida now. He has like kids. He's not really into training anymore. He's still like a big dude, but he's not like really into it.
You got to open up the Power Build house.
Yeah, bring him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was an absolute monster. Like literally, as a high school senior, bench 405. Barely any technique. It didn't look awful, but barely any technique.
It's one of those guys where it's just like, oh, he just throws it on, hits it, and you're like, whoa.
Literally, me and him got into the gym, and it was just always me chasing him. Like always just trying to get even near his level, which is what like accelerated my progress so much. Not to mention like the gym we went to was like where all the real lifters went to in my area, like a bunch of dudes on juice. They would just talk shit to us like we were on their same level, but like not somewhat fun-loving way. Some of them it was a little more fucked up, but like it was awesome because of the competitive nature. It was just like I was just like me and him. I was chasing my buddy. My buddy was chasing being the strongest motherfucker in the gym.
Do you ever feel like you almost strive just to get that same feeling back from when you were younger because it was such like a hunger?
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Oh,
it's you can never get to that feeling. You can try
know.
to, but it's like it's something when you were at rock bottom, like you don't even know where you were going to go.
Yeah.
And then being surrounded by all these people, and you're like, I just want to be better. I just need to get better. I need to get bigger. I need to be stronger. I need to do this.
It was, that was a huge aspect of it. And like, that's what led to like such early, like I made so many fucking gains, like literally 150 to 185 the first year. The second year I was up to 205. Like I was fucking
Do you know what the biggest leap you took in like
lifts?
Well, no, in like both body weight and like in lifts.
Yeah, I mean, the first year that like literally 35 pounds just seemed like surreal. Like every fucking friend I had was like, "You're taking steroids." I was like, "Dude, I don't even know what the fuck steroids are at this time." Like,
creatine.
I was like, "Yeah, I'm taking creatine pre-workout."
For the first time.
Yeah, for real. It was like eating fairly the right way and in a huge surplus, and like all I was doing was like, I'd wake up, I was working at like fucking UPS at the time, like fucking loading trucks, going to the gym after that for like 2-3 hours.
Workouts in one day.
Yeah, that shit was no joke. That sucked.
Yeah.
And then training, sleeping, just doing the same thing every day.
Being in a routine.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when I first went to the gym, I could bench a plate. I'd been able to do that, but that was literally it.
Mm-hmm.
Within like, by the end of that first year, I was probably benching 275, like within a year, yeah. And then within that second year, I remember hitting 350. I remember hitting 350 at the time, and I was like, I didn't even know how I did it. I was like, how the fuck is this even possible? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I was like 19.
That's funny. I remember when I was first like just walked in the gym, I was about like 100 pounds, right? And I benched 100 pounds, and I was like, I'm the shit. I was going to school with like the biggest hype and like, yeah. I benched 100 pounds, never went to the gym again, right? This is probably like 8th grade. Like I just walked in, one of my buddies was like, hey, let's see how much you bench. It was 100 pounds. I was like, oh, I'm the strongest motherfucker ever, right? Never go to the gym again. Then finally, 9th grade, I'm 145 pounds, and I go from 145 to 160. I just did my first dirty bulk, basically, and I'm eating like Little Debbie's and all this like candy. And then from there, from 9th grade to 10th grade, well, actually, just the 9th grade thing happened where I hit my growth spurt, and I was getting up to like 187 at nighttime, but I had to wrestle 160. Or no, I had to wrestle 170, but I was in the 160s. But then I was hit my growth spurt, and I was getting to the 180s, and I was panicking, and we had regions, so I did this mega cut. So it's like 8 months into lifting, I was getting really, really strong. And I basically threw it all away, and I cut down to 166. I was eating 1,000 calories for a solid 2 weeks, right? And I have this photo of me at the end of the before regions, and it's just all stick. Like the only thing you can see is some cap delts, but it's like no bicep, no tricep. The forearm is the same ratio as this, right? No legs, no chest, and my bench before I did that little cutout, I just hit 215 or something. I was like, okay, I'm going to hit that 225 bench. That's going to be the mile mark, right? Yeah. After regions and being on 1,000 calories for like 2 weeks, I had what you would call like, I didn't reverse diet. You know when like a bodybuilder's on prep and like their mind is so hungry? I never understood what that was when I was younger, but then when that happened, I lost our regions. I was supposed to go to state, but I was just so weak, fatigued, all that after it, I just couldn't stop eating. And I went from 166 to 205 in a month.
Oh my!
In a month.
Oh okay? My God. That's got to be a record.
I put on the most amount of mass naturally that I've ever met on somebody. And I have a photo of me literally going here to here. And then I went to one of those like body fat things where like it's obviously very, very inaccurate like, where you hold the things. But I was so curious. But it was like the perfect time of like I grew like 2 inches. I hit my growth spurt. My voice dropped. It was like I was just injecting GH almost, right? My bench went from 185 because I was originally at 215, but it went down to 185. Went from 185 to 265. I didn't even get to do the 225 mark. Yeah. I went
out of quarter, right?
Yeah, I went straight from. I didn't even do. No, I did 235. I didn't even get to do 225 like everybody else. It just went from, let's do 205. 205 feels good. 235. Boom. And then after that, I stayed at that 195, 205-ish during football season. Yeah. Maintained all that. Basically had a recomposition because I was eating so much food just to maintain that during football because it was all the cardio. We were out in the sun. It's August time. Yeah. Right? Then I had 1 month to add on more weight. Went to about 220. Then I wrestled 195 for the next like 6 months. And then after that went up to 220 again. So I stayed in 220 from 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. But each year at that 220 mark, it was like 220 at that 10th grade was like at nighttime. And then 220 at 11th grade was like mid time.
Yeah.
And then 220 at senior year was
morning weight.
Yep, morning weight 220.
It's insane. What were the kids in your school telling
Yeah, I know.
Seeing you, because you go from 150, right? Most of those kids, they know you from before high school. And
Yeah.
like,
But
damn, I remember Sawyer. He was 150, but like a couple of years, fast forward 2 years, he's 220.
220.
well, I think what also is different though is I'm so lengthy that because it was just like, I think it was that one time when I went from 166 to 195, it was the big like, whoa, you've been working out, haven't you? But because of just how long I am, I don't think it was so noticeable. Maybe when I was wearing like the extra small shirts and like just to pop out everything.
Yeah.
But I noticed the biggest difference was the 166 to 195. I was like, I'm a man.
Yeah. What did you play in football? What position?
Oh, you don't want to know. We had like, dude, okay, what's funny is we're in a hockey town, right? So nobody would do football because they would be scared to do hockey. So I had to be put on the line. So I was on right tackle, right? We were playing against AAA schools, and we didn't even have a AAA team. We had like a single A team. It was terrible. So we got finally put down to AA.
Yeah.
For like practice, or for like a small, I don't want to say meets, but
games.
Games. And then when it came down to like if we had to do like regionals or states or whatever, we had to play AAA teams, and we just get fucking demolished.
Yeah.
Right? It was rough. Football sucked in that regard because I would take it very serious because during wrestling makes it where you're the one who has to win. You know, it doesn't. You're not relying on anybody except you just have to make weight, practice.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
So
teams are tough.
Yeah. Well, because I have no problem with like articulating, hey, you got to do this, you have to do that, right? But when it's practice time and people don't want to take it serious, it really kind of pissed me off. And this was on my training arc where everything was nothing mattered. Like there was no girls. It was only like wake up, make my food, go to the gym, go to school, go to work, go train, all that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still kind of like that, but it's like I don't have to go to school anymore and I don't have to go to work.
Yeah.
Like just it's a little more freelancing, you know. I don't have to make that like we said, that 5 to 9 workout schedule anymore.
No, yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely one of the positives. But the one thing I do like about powerlifting, and that's what we've kind of tried to build here, is like we have like a team element to it where it's like when we go to meets, there's usually a bunch of us, but that's
where like the sport feeling is. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, you're with these people. They want you to win, but it also at the end of the day, you have to win.
Yeah.
Okay, it's up to you. Okay. Nabil ain't coming in to lift my deadlift.
No,
right?
yeah.
Like, I got to be there. He can yell in my ear to do it, and that's
Yeah.
enough for me.
Yeah.
But you got to be the one to do it.
No, 100%. Yeah, it's definitely same. Yeah.
Did you do any sports?
Tennis for 14 years.
Oh yeah.
What?
Yeah.
You ever see this dude on the ping pong table?
Are you
He'd
good?
Make you feel terrible.
Are you good at badminton?
I'm good at all of the rackets.
Any okay.
Racket sports.
Pickleball?
Yeah,
I hear good things about pickleball. I've never played.
Well,
Damn.
Mostly ping pong, but tennis was my stuff for 14 years.
We didn't
And
have
I
male
completely,
tennis.
Like dropped it. I was 16, I think it was. It was like, you know, I just switched sport. My dad put me on the court at that was a 2-year-old.
Damn.
Yeah, I was like holding a racket.
I feel like most people that are really good at tennis start early.
Yeah, I was already playing and stuff, and then kept going at it. And back in France, right? So if I was probably like, it was like half of the day you go to school, so you have school from like 8 to 12, and then the other day you have practice. But
Damn.
This was in the United States, right?
no, I did high school in France.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You only came over here, what, 3 years ago?
4.
4 years ago?
Yeah, 4 years ago, and practiced it. So, and then after that, I said, you know what? It felt
Let me
like-
try this powerlifting thing out.
Yeah.
Not even. I just stopped sport. Just you know, life stuff. Being a kid.
Yeah.
Being a young male, going out, partying, females, all that stuff. And then I got bored of that. And I moved here, and it was like everybody was training. I was 110, 105 pound kid, and I was like, I gotta go to gym because my family and my friends called me skinny. So something was happening. I was back in France. I didn't feel insecure because everybody looked like
Yeah, I was gonna.
I moved to the US.
we were saying
it's
that.
like,
Everybody's
what
fat.
you guys eating?
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. So I just
McDonald's, Burger King, Chick-fil-A.
Dude, it's so
Even
different.
being jacked, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, now it's time to pick it up. Just starting with like body weight stuff, pull up, push-ups, calisthenics for like 6 months. Then I did Olympic weightlifting for 6 months. That actually was good. And after that, I was like, I just like squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah.
I did that for 3 years.
Did you have any sense of like training before that? Like, did you do push-ups when you were a kid?
No.
Okay, because like when I was younger, my brother and I, I have photos of us being 6 years old, 7 years old, and we're arm wrestling.
Yeah.
We're doing push-ups.
Yeah.
We're doing pull-ups, and we were like, I think would people be like,
But
well,
that's
would
the
you?
thing, you have an older brother, so it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
he brought that.
You don't have
what's-
any siblings?
I don't have half, but I don't see them often, so that's why.
Yeah. See, I had an older brother, so we were kind of like
Same
that
thing.
too. We're
Yeah,
like
where it's like
everything physical.
he
trying
needs to be better. He needs to be stronger, and I just want to. That's
Yeah.
that's the difference, and it's
That's
like
cool.
it makes it where it's fun.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he played out well for you.
That's crazy though. That's interesting because like totally different backgrounds.
He's
Like you could,
dynamic, and now he's deadlifting 800 pounds.
I know. It's like you would never.
Serena
think,
Williams, do you want to come into powerlifting? We'll
Yo,
see what
she
you
would
can do.
probably be the best ever. Honestly, she's built for it. Like,
Yeah.
she'd be a monster.
But that's what I'm saying, like being because tennis requires a lot. You have to be explosive. On the
Yeah.
court, you know?
Fast twitch.
Fast twitch,
Yeah.
muscles, fibers. That's what actually helped me get my lifts because I'm very explosive.
Yeah.
You know? Like I don't have a lot of muscle on my frame, so you have to be explosive. And I feel like coming back from that background definitely helped me out a lot. Right?
John Hack must have been a killer tennis player.
Oh,
Probably.
oh, man. Yeah,
I bet.
I don't even want to know how fast I could serve now. I definitely.
I was thinking you were like a swimmer or so.
Yeah.
Because
kinda
like most deadlift people literally look
yeah,
like they're
long
swimmers with the
Kinda.
long arms and
broad
everything.
shoulder,
Yeah.
wide back, and
Yeah.
Slim waist, long wings.
One of my speaking of the crazy strong girl deadlifters, one of my other 400-pound female deadlifters, she was a swimmer.
400
So,
pound. Okay.
Yeah, she just
So many.
repping 402 now too. Yeah, but swimming background, dude.
Oh, I read that wrong. I thought you were saying she's 405 pounds. Not like she's
No. She's repping it. She's only 100 and like she's I think 74, something like that. But yeah, crazy. It's interesting to just hear the backgrounds of like
Also,
some of the.
Because we were placed also in a situation where we had to compete, right? So it's in a sense powerlifting is not our first sport. People that get into powerlifting and that's their first sport, I feel like they tend to give up very quickly because that's their first sport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Versus like you're almost seeking that game that you
Yeah.
used to play.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like what's nice with powerlifting is like we have the weigh-ins just like wrestling had. We're in a singlet just like wrestling had, right?
Yeah.
It's just the only difference is I get to lift the weights
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
and
Yeah.
yell, and nobody gets mad at me.
Yeah.
You know, it's, calm
I
down.
have a question. So when exactly you saw your deadlift blowing up? Like at what age?
Oh,
You made the
so
most amount of progress?
yeah. I never wanted to deadlift originally. My brother just like was deadlifting 405, conventional, just repping it out, right? And when I saw that, I was like, because everybody in the gym would tell you, okay, don't be doing those deadlifts. You'll
Yep.
be hurting your back.
Yep.
Don't be
I
doing
was gonna
that.
say the
That's
same
a
thing.
football background.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
want you to do clean and jerks and hang
Yeah, front squats. They want to do.
Only deadlifting with a trap bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I-
Yeah.
So when I saw my brother deadlift 405, I was just like, whoa, like it just looked cool. You have it, you slam it on the ground, you walk away just nonchalantly, right? And I was like, okay, I'll deadlift, but I'm gonna deadlift super, super light. So I go over and put a 10-pound bumper plate on each side and do like probably 2,000 reps.
Yeah.
I guarantee. And I was just like, I just need to hone in on the form, right? Then the next day, 20 pounds on each side. Like did probably 2,000 reps. Videoed every single one of them. The camera roll of the 32 gigabyte iPod 4G was just deadlift
Yeah.
clips. Each side's angled, right? And then I just did it again, 10 pounds again, and then 10 pounds again. And then finally, after I was wrestling, the next day I was like, let's see what we do. And then I pulled 405, and I'm like, oh, yay! And now I'm catching up to my brother. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna still do it now, right? And finally, my brother moved away, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna still deadlift though, right? So all my deadlifts I did do, I never did chalk. I never used chalk. I thought chalk was cheating. I thought straps were cheating, and I thought chalk was cheating, and then I thought belts were cheating.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that was allowed was headphones.
That's a
Raw. Yeah.
Yep. So then I tried out a belt, and I pulled 455 for the first time. I was like, okay, awesome. And then I was like, all right, I'm gonna try 475, and I filled 475 like twice in a row, and I was getting like really just like, oh geez. And then
when you hit that, when you
Yep.
begins and then boom, it just stops.
yeah,
Yeah.
so after missing 475, because I would lock it out, but I couldn't hold on to it. So I did a full 2 weeks of just grip strength training that I'd never have to worry about my grip anymore. I was doing 225 farmer carries on the trap bar
Yeah.
on the track. I was doing these like I don't know what you call them.
Yeah, they're like forearm rolls kind of. Yeah.
I had this machine that I would go to bed. It's these springs, and it's like from the 80s.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah.
And it had 4 of them on.
Yep.
And I would just like before bed, I would just do like 100 each of them, right? So then I go in after 2 weeks of training grip, just demolish 475, right? Then my friend goes, "Hey, do you want to try chalk?" And I go, "Okay, sure." Put it on, hit 500 for the first time, right?
Damn.
After that, I didn't think about that 500 was like just due to the chalk being able to hold on to the bar. So then I travel out to Salt Lake City. I pull 515 after training on my first ever deadlift, my first ever program. It was like 8 weeks, stiff bar. Did it with no chalk, and I was like, okay, that's all right. Then
Were you, all this time were you sumo or you switch at some point?
Nope. I've always been sumo.
Wow.
So I've always pulled sumo.
That's interesting.
Yeah. And then I maybe did stiff bars or I did deficit deadlifts, but never like strictly conventional. And this is basically my rate of progress I did. I went from 500 to 515 in 8 weeks, 515 to 565 in 8 weeks, 565 to 615, 8 weeks, and then 615 to 6. I think it was 635, but I made a great amount of progress on my squat, and I squatted actually before that day. So the next day, I was a little taxed for deads, and I did 635, and I was really pissed off about it because I failed it the first time because I tried these A7 deadlift slippers, and it was like when they first started out, they were the shittiest slippers I've ever had on, and I was just pissed because I was like just trying to wear them, and everybody was like, "Oh, try deadlift slippers." I was like, "Fuck this!" I like threw them on the ground, went barefoot, picked it up, slammed it, walked away. I was just pissed the entire night. Then after that, went from 615, I went 615 to 675 actually. That's what I did. Because I did 635 in training, and I was like, wow. And we're still like 4 weeks, we're going to max out. Did 675, and then from 675, I was like, whoa, I'm actually pretty strong. Because before, I was looking at all these other people hitting all these PRs. Larry Wheels had hit a PR every day on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's who I'm looking at. I'm looking at Larry Wheels. I'm like, okay, I still got to compete against him. All right, this is what he's at, right?
Yeah.
So then after the 675, and that was on deadlift bar, by the way, deadlift bar, pound plates, but not bumpers. Then I was like, okay, uploaded it on YouTube. Everybody was I was getting accused of all these steroid accusations. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to do a competition. So I do a competition 3 weeks after I hit my 675. The 675 was a full RP 10. And I was like, all right, not really thinking you needed a long time to get ready for the deadlifts.
Yeah.
I pulled, I think it was I did 606 for my first attempt, and then I messed up the kilos because I didn't know how kilos worked. And I was supposed to do 635 for my second attempt, and that would have been a national record for my age group at the weight too. But I messed up the kilos, and it was like 656 I actually loaded on, and I could only break it off, and that was for my second attempt.
Damn.
And I remember my coach at that time was pissed because he was like, he wrote out the second attempt, but I didn't know. This is my first ever powerlifting meet. Nobody's like handling me at all. So I was like, oh, where's my phone? I don't know where my phone. You have 30 seconds left. Put in the number. I was like, roughly. Wrote it down, scribbled it, sent it in.
Man.
And like it was just that kilo difference, right? So from there, learned it. I was like, okay, whatever. We'll go back on the deadlift bar. So after doing 606 in the comp, but 606 competition, stiff bar, right? But I know I could have done 635. It was just that jump could have messed it up. Because I got, both times I got it to like my knees, and then I had to set it down. So then from there, I did 715 on, I might have done actually I did 700, yeah. And then I did 715 after another 8 weeks. So 8 weeks, 700.
What program are you running, or like who's helping you?
It was it was the worst training. Like the training program was not good at all because every person that I know that was on the same training program got injured. I was the only one who's never been injured, and it was on a very, very high intensity RP 9 and 10, 24/7.
It's my top programs.
It was like, you were running the Nabil program?
I hope not. I hope Nabil's not training like this because.
Used to.
Oh, okay.
Used to.
But you can get away with that when you're younger, right?
Yeah,
But
it allows more.
Yeah, but I don't think it's ideal at all.
No.
It's not ideal long-term wise because so many people that I know who trained RP 9 and 10, now they have like, oh, I have joint issues, I have elbow tendonitis, and it's due to like being a retard training, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, and that's why I'm so passionate about like if somebody's training, don't be going RP 20.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Like where they're like, okay, I'm gonna high bar squat 405, and it's like.
You can still make progress by training at a smart intensity and volume.
As
and
long as you get your food right, and you train comfortably,
Yeah.
you will progress.
Yep.
Well, and from there, after I did my first meet, did the 700, then 715, and then I was like, I was doing all this mixed grip, and then everybody was like, have you ever heard of hook grip? So I go, oh, okay, go back to a stiff bar because I wanted to do another meet, and I wanted to do 700 in comp or 675. Because that was the national record at that time.
Junior, right? Or was it teen at this time?
Teen. I was still a teen.
Okay.
So I was probably 18, and I wanted 675 hook grip. So I was like training hook grip. Didn't know how to really do it correctly, so it was very, very painful. And funny story, how I prepped for that was I was working retail, and I would work like 8-hour jobs, and I would like hook grip my fingers and squeeze while I'm walking down the aisles, being like, so like imagine this, 195 pound kid walking up, squeezing his fist and going, are you finding everything all right? Do you need any shoes? Are you looking for anything? And I'm just like squeezing my hands are purple. I did that for 8 hours, and then finally I kind of got used to it, doing like the most painful thing ever.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need to get better at hook grip. I got to go the fastest way.
Damn.
So then I did my own little meet, and then I went to the Arnold, and this was my first time going to the Arnold. And how I hook gripped was, you know how most people like will go down and then grab the bar? I straight up was, like John Hack kind of just goes and just picks it up. Think about that, but with hook grip. I would go like this.
It's a grip and pull.
And then as soon as it would just go.
Grip and pull.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was bad.
The fact that you can hold on to it.
That's impressive.
Well, that's what I was doing. And when I was at the Arnold, I hooked it like this, not straight, right? And I have the camera angle of like, say this is the bar and this is the camera angle. And I remember after failing it, and I'm like 2 fingers in, and I get like midway, rip my thumb. I think, it was this one, like just chunk of I looked like Dan Griggs' thumb basically, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And then quarantine happened. Deadlifts kind of went away because I was just trying to get plates.
Damn, so you were at that Arnold, it was 2020, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was me and Debo.
You were
that
there?
was my last USAPL meet.
Okay.
And that was Debo was there. He did that one as well.
Best meet, right? No.
I think that was my best USAPL meet. I think I
Was that
totaled,
at
like,
the Arnold?
Yeah, it was at the Arnold.
Crazy.
Yeah, me and Debo both did the Raw Challenge, I think it was. That's
Okay.
what they used to call it, the Raw Challenge, because then they would always have like the SBD one, which was like the Pro something or another. I don't know.
I remember at that time, Jamal Browner tried out on the elephant bar because that was the big deal.
Yeah. Yep.
It's crazy on if we think about this is 3 years ago pretty much, and how much just the fitness industry community, all that changed in just 3 years.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's wild to think about. Literally, it's one of those things like it feels like it was yesterday, but at the same time, it also feels like it could have been a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.